The Muscle River has subsided slightly overnight, but the threat of flooding is still very much real because massive amounts of snowpack are still present into the mountains.
Here in the field, I'm with storm chaser John Ojeda. We just got done tracking one storm, and there's another one we're headed out to right now. We've got a severe thunderstorm watch for the entire state. Let's zoom in and show you what we're talking about here. 3 counties affected: Golden Valley, Stillwater, Sweetgrass. Again, no tornado has touched down at this time, but the elements are right for something to happen. 3 days, 54 accidents reported to the Billings Police Department.
Today at 5:30 on Q2.
I'm Jason Laird, and tonight we'll take a look back at the winds across Billings and how they wreaked havoc here in the Magic City, including up here at the airport. As you can see, the dangers behind this thing, it's like a blender. Not only is it blocking the water, everything in its path is just getting ground up and charred into nothing. This ice jam that just recently broke up is the one we showed you just down the river here on the Muscle Shell. Let me take you over to the bridge in Muscle Shell town and show you exactly what the potential hazards are here. The risk is real, and only Mother Nature knows what's around the bend. What we're expecting happened was what we call a microburst. Now, what that is, basically a big chunk of air dropping down here. Let me show you some video that we got from John Ojeda. I actually had spent some time in the field with him the other day. This is off of the Billings Rims. I want you to concentrate right along the horizon there, and look how there's a big clearing right here in the center. All right, what's happening there is a big chunk of air is dropping out very quickly, and you can really see the dust and debris coming up off of the ground. That, again, is not a tornado. It's going to be a microburst.
Your accurate forecast from Jason Laird starts now with live Storm Tracker Doppler on Q2. Fair, accurate, to the point.
Good to see all of you. Thank you so much for joining us on this record-setting, or record-breaking, I guess you could say, Saturday night. Starting things off with the first interstate ICAM, looking off of the rims there. Starting to look a little bit clearer compared to what the last few days has been like. There's actually hope in sight. Some of those staggering showers beginning to build up even tonight and pushing this high-pressure ridge out of the way. So we're going to call it moving day today, all right? We have one system moving out and one moving in. That low-pressure cell is going to swirl that moisture around us. Now, Dustin and I were just talking about our predictions for Groundhog Day. Personally, I'm going to go with shadow on this. Dustin, you were saying earlier no shadow on this.
Someone has to be optimistic.
All right, we'll keep it optimistic.
You and Bob are bringing things down, and I just think that we need to have some real optimism and say,
I tell you, I'm gonna keep the conservative look on this, probably because I peeked at the forecast. Just a thought. Anywho, this is all that massive cold air that dropped down throughout last week. So you got to ask yourself, well, what's going on? The cold air hasn't quite made it to us yet. Well, here's what's going on. We have upsloping flow. What's happening is that warm, moist air is hitting those mountains and rising, and as it does that, it condenses, turns into snowfall. So that's even without that cooler air. That's why we're going to start seeing snowfall into western Montana. And what we're seeing, that kind of foggy looking stuff back there, that's upsloping precipitation. In other words, that air is moving up, that warm, moist Pacific air is moving up the Rockies. Massive snowpack up into the higher elevations, and we have those heavy winds. What'll happen is that snow starts to drift over those ridges on top of the mountains, in turn creating this kind of cone-shaped deal, and that can in turn spur off an avalanche. So just use some extra caution there.
Q2's Jason Laird with the weather now. Jason, it appears we're staring at a 6-week window of just nothing but cold.
Pretty much. You know, it's hard to look out 6 weeks, but I can definitely tell you the next 2 weeks, especially this week, sub-zero temperatures. When we say 27 by maybe Saturday, and that's a heat wave, that's got to tell you something. Yeah, we got all the details on that just around the corner. Stay with us. Right, we're looking at another week of extremely hot temperatures here in Billings, and another thing to take into consideration are our pets. Now, I'm here at Best Friends Animal Hospital in the Heights with Dr. Meg and her dog Inca. What are some tips that we can look out for to keep our pets safe? It may just look like a snowy river now until you factor in freezing and thawing on a daily basis. And just to put it in perspective, Montana alone ranks #1 in the lower 48 for ice jams and ice jam-related deaths. That being said, the risk is real. In Billings, Jason Laird, MTN News. Yeah, it's looking a little chilly over the next few days.
Little chilly?
Chilly is a light term and to be used loosely. Let's take you over and show you what the furry fellow out east in Pennsylvania predicted for us. Yeah, it's been a little windy as we look outside, but there's this big foreign object in the sky. Not a lot of people have seen it yet. It's called the sun. We got more of that coming for the weekend, you know. Frigid temperatures about 30 below, factoring in that wind chill. As we move up into the northeastern corner, we're looking at those wind chill advisories as well. So again, if you're going to be traveling to the Bakken area, folks, make sure you plug in the diesel trucks. Don't let the pets outside. Try to stay inside where it's nice and warm. And watch this. By tomorrow afternoon, 27-mile-an-hour gusts coming off of the Livingston Mountains, and that's going to, help to warm up those temperatures, but we're also going to see very, very gusty conditions. That's brought advisories all across the board.
What do you think about this week? It's not looking...
You know, it's getting interesting.
great.
We've got quite a plethora of weather phenomena that's going to be happening over the next few days. We've got warm temperatures, wind kicking up, snow, cold, the whole mix. Makes my job a little challenging, but...
A little bit.
But we got the whole analysis coming up after the break. Hang on. For those of you heading out for Black Friday, it's going to be a little bit chilly tonight, but let's start off with a few statistics over the Thanksgiving holiday. How about a little holiday climatology for you here? Well, warmest day we've ever seen on Thanksgiving, 1998. 66 warm degrees, 16 below for the coldest day. And let's show you where that's coming from. Turn on the water vapor imagery. That's right, the old Pineapple Express coming all the way from the Hawaiian Islands. And as that moisture moves our way, it's mixing in with the atmosphere and starting to spur off some shower activity as we have some incoming cold air that's going to kind of help to provide that lift. But notice this next cold front dropping down out of Canada. That's what's going to kick off those winds into Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. As that system starts to move down, the cold front's going to kick off the winds, and notice how tight those little white lines have got together. You have the high pressure to the low pressure, winds shooting up through there, so the steeper the pressure drop, the heavier the winds are going to be. So we're looking at some pretty gusty conditions come Monday. Now, with those little breezy conditions, you do got to keep in mind that pollen forecast. Now, earlier we showed you some of the pollens that are going to be affecting. What that's done is it's instigated a big trough and a big dip in this jet stream, and by putting that big dip in the jet stream, it's allowing for this cold Arctic air to start to sink in on top of us. For those of you hitting the airport a little early here and need to be doing some traveling, well, right now at Billings Logan International, everything is trending nicely. Clear skies and 39 at the airport right now. All the connecting flights or the main hubs connecting to Billings, everything is trending well and no delays as we speak. But you and I both know how airports work. That can change in a matter of moments. Daylight savings time, we call that sleep-in Sunday. Give you an extra hour. 30 degrees cooler up along the High Line. That is headed our way, folks. You might have thought I was a little crazy yesterday when I said we were taking a 30-degree drop by this time. Well, that just shows it right there.
I think those Seahawks fans are having a little fun too, but Bronco fans have enjoyed their Tiny's Bar 32 years. That's kind of incredible.
That's outstanding, yeah.
That's amazing. Joining us now to forecast your next 6 more weeks of winter, it's Jason Laird. And Jason, it was reported Montana Murray, he didn't see a shadow, but Punxsutawney Phil. So in Phil or Murray,
I think he was still sleeping and wasn't paying attention personally. That's what I'm going to go with.
System. I was going to say, you've looked forward, haven't you?
Yeah, we have that, scientific forecast thing we have to play around with. Anyways, I'll tell you what it has in store for us after the break.